Oh, and this is how we get down. And just like the chat queen, my girl Kimberly said in the chat today, thank God it is Friday. We are entering into the best time of the year when it comes to sports. Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you so much hanging out with us here on Coach and Company. We are live every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Stadium, Bally Sports Live, Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. The list goes on and on. We thank you for tuning in. However, if you are watching on YouTube, please hit that like button on your way in and then chat away. And any questions you have, we'll try to answer as many as we can during the show. Now, before we look forward, we must always look back. And yesterday, we had picks all over the board. And last night, well, when the game goes opposite of the way you think it's going to go, congratulations to the San Francisco 49ers. DG cracking those props again with the field goal kickers, but everything else, CMC went over all of his totals. Didn't think he's going to do that with Mac Jones. Kyron Williams, just a little bit under. He fumbles at, we'll get into it. How about my man, the JC1, a happy Friday super sticker. We appreciate that so very much. It goes to the production of the show, so thank you. All right. Now that we've looked at way too many X's, today's going to be a fire show. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to take a look any numbers that have changed in the world of college football. It's a big weekend, a pivotal weekend. We'll dive into that. Coming up in 30 minutes from right now, it's the big weekend in the NFL. Now the 49ers are the first 4-1 team in the NFL. So far this year. Now, the schedule today, in addition to this, we have On Demand Coach and Bro. I just looked at the numbers. You guys are amazing. The numbers are incredible. But if you missed any of the show yesterday, it's on demand. And then you can catch all of our content, whether it's at BTT YouTube or Coach and Company YouTube. We encourage you to follow both and to get all that content and turn on those notifications. Also, we have a ton of premium content, extra episode every single day. We're doing nighttime shows just for you premium members. We had a great time. I believe Wednesday this week we did one. Next week, Maction starts. My guess is we'll be live 2 or 3 nights, so come be a part of what we're doing there. And then also, finally, if you want to become a merch member, send us a picture. We'll throw it right up on the show. Absolutely love it. There is the QR code. All right, housekeeping is done. I need some banger picks. I need some fire picks. I just want to have a good time because I love this so very much. Guess who's standing? You damn right they are. They are anxious. They are fired up. They're ready to be with you for the next 60 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to beat the books. All right, look who we've got today. Oh, my goodness. Brandon, to your right. Slide like 4 inches to your right. Just like 4. Oh, there you go. Look at. Give me a little attitude. You give me a little attitude? You look great.
I'm just trying to slide.
A new setup, a new microphone. You're taking this serious. Good morning.
How we doing, boys? It's Friday. Everybody wears red on Friday because we remember everyone deployed. Sergeant Martinez until Valhalla, brother.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I don't know if you know this, but the man right next to you is also military. My man Zeno. Good afternoon.
Coach, fam, welcome. I haven't seen that many X's since I played the feud last, and I'd personally like to thank Kyron Williams for screwing me last night. So, thank you.
That was brutal. Fumbling at the 1 to go in. Team totals got screwed. Now, the over did come in eventually, but, man, was that hard to watch. By the way, Brandon, did you happen to have a did you have a ticket on anything else last night, Brandon? Did you?
Yeah, look, I hit the 28-1 Jake Tonga's first touchdown. I hit that bad boy in the obviously in the first quarter with the first touchdown. But then, man, Kyle Juszczyk could have brought it home. 20-1, anytime touchdown. Stuffed on the 1.
Oh, stuffed on the 1. We were live on Brandon's show last night, Bet MGM tonight, and we were live watching, and I was like, if he hits a 20-1 while we're on the air, that'd be absolutely amazing. And they gave him the ball, and then he got stuffed. Half-yard gain. But that's the game. And that's what happens when you're doing this. Now, this man, every single Friday, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm telling you that Footy Friday is a cash register. Say good morning to the man live from the Dirty, Big Chuck. Good morning.
Morning, Coachman Company. Yeah, I think McVay, he might have been in the Survivor contest. He couldn't settle for a push, so he had to go for the victory, let everyone down. Yeah, quite a game last night, but excited for Footy Friday for sure.
I did not watch Visson this morning because usually they do a big Survivors pool segment over on their show, and I have it here early on. I don't know how many people had the Rams in Survivor.
Enough.
Enough. That's a great answer. Enough. All right, boys. We need to forget about those X's, and we need to get after it today. So, Zeno, in honor of Kyron Williams, screwing everybody, including the show, I would love it, sir, for you to go first. Best bets, what do you got?
All right, we'll hit one Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday night tonight, BYU home in Provo, Utah against a banged-up, awful, bad defense, West Virginia. BYU first half team total over 16.5 here. This is a BYU offense that's top 50 in the nation and 9th in rushing. Get it done here early and often against a bad West Virginia team. Let's go to Saturday. This is a bet, guys, and Brandon and I talked about this. Make the bet. Don't watch. Just check the score at 3:30 because we're going to bet the Purdue Boilermakers plus 9.5 against Illinois. Who does Illinois have on deck after this week? Oh, nothing but number 1 Ohio State at home. Little sandwich spot after a big win over USC. Little letdown spot here. Purdue keeps this thing close and within the number of 9.5. And then we will go to Sunday. What the hell are the Miami Dolphins doing being favored over anybody right now? What are we drunk? Oh, because they beat the Jets on Monday night. Oh, by the way, we have a track record here of teams going on the road after Monday night, only winning 38% of the time, only covering 44% of the time. Panthers get it done at home and the upset over the Dolphins.
In the battle of 1 and 3 teams on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. By the way, the BYU pick I love because they can become our Hawaii tonight because it's a 10:30 p.m. start time. So if you have a bad evening or something and you want to get a little bit back, you got a late night game at 10:30. I love the team total because BYU is very underrated because nobody ever watches them because they're in the West, and I love that. In West Virginia, you're right. Their defense sucks, Zeno. Sucks. All right. Great start, Zeno. All right. Brandon, I know I can count on you for multiple picks, and I know today, after what happened last night, you're fired up and you're ready to cash. Give them to me.
Always ready to cash, Coach. Let's go start with Giants money line taking on the Saints. This line is ridiculous, and it's a gross overreaction to Buffalo playing with their food last week against the Saints. This Giants defense is really good. Jackson Dart is the real deal over in New York. They've still got weapons, even though Malik Neighbors is out. So give me Giants money line against the Saints. Now give me Texas minus 5.5 against Florida. DJ Lagway, I don't trust him to hand the ball off, let alone throw a forward pass. Texas is going to win this one going away. So give me Texas minus 5.5. Then I'm going to parlay Florida State plus 4 versus Miami and Vanderbilt plus 10.5 versus Alabama. I like both of these. I think both of these teams are actually live in these games. Vanderbilt has Diego Pavia is an absolute stud. I bet him to win the Heisman because if they win this game, Diego Pavia is going to be live for the Heisman. He's probably going to be the favorite for the Heisman after this week. So if you want the better line, go get Diego Pavia right now to win the Heisman. Also, Phillies to beat the Dodgers in the NLDS at plus 105. This Phillies team is really, really good. We don't know what Dodgers lineup is going to show up. We don't know what Phillies lineup is going to show up. This is going to be a very fun series to watch. But I got the Phillies at plus 105. It's probably the only time you're going to get plus money on the Phillies in this series.
No doubt about that. My goodness. I love those, by the way. Should we have Raphael, by the way, make odds on whether or not Pavia's mother will end up seriously dating Theo Von whatever his name is, the comedian? We've all seen this story.
I get
Yes.
about people's mothers. Like, I get uncomfortable. This is not a conversation we should have. It's people's mothers.
This is not a conversation I had. This is a major story out there.
Oh, I get it, but like, why are
major story out there?
Oh,
I was a little bit surprised they did it on the air. They did it in the game.
Yes, that's the point.
Yeah. But hey, good for Theo. Good for Theo. All right, now my boys are done, but I need a little soccer, and I love it when Footy Friday starts on a Friday. So, producer man, roll tape. Every single Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Bundesliga from Germany. We absolutely love this league. So, Big Chuck, I want to start right there.
Hoffenheim, Cologne, and with 6 of Cologne's last 7 matches going over the total, we're going to roll with the over 3 to kick off the weekend. I could see 4 or more goals in this one as we get the first check mark on that list.
I love the first check. Cologne, I always own Cologne, I think. They are always fun to watch. And I think they're better. Last year, they didn't score as many goals. I think this year, they've been way more offensive, which feeds into the play today. All right, now we need to head over to Saturday. And I believe we have a little bit of EPL, or is it La Liga? I think I'd like to go to La Liga, if you don't mind, Chuck.
We'll travel to Spain, Real Madrid, Villarreal, the both teams to score in over 2.5. This one's actually cashed in 6 of their last 7 meetings. Also, I could see a 3-1, 3-2 type final score. Then we had to have a little Italy series. Atalanta Como, and Atalanta having played midweek. I like the visitors as dogs in this spot, which means I expect them to score that early goal. Como, first half, team total over half a goal, as they've scored a first half goal in 2 of their last 3 games.
Love both of those. Real Madrid, as great as they are, they can certainly allow goals a lot. They've been having a lot of first half goals collectively in their games, I've noticed as well. All right, let's go over to our favorite league that's not the MLS, but I also like the MLS. How about a little Premier League also, Big Chuck?
Chelsea, they welcome Liverpool to London, and when these two get together, we tend to see fireworks. Chelsea, they come in averaging 1.8 team goals, while Liverpool, they score average of 2 team goals. We're going to roll with another over 3 in West London, and then the MLS gold mine. New York Red Bulls take on FC Cincinnati. I'm expecting a strong start from the New York Red Bulls. First half team total over half a goal, as they average 1 first half team goal at home. And then lastly, we had to run it back, our first half parlay. We've cashed 2 out of the last 3 weeks. All we simply need is a first half goal in the 5 matches listed for a plus 235.
Man, Chuck, it's like music to my ears. I love Footy Friday. Let's go. Hopefully you guys took a screen grab. If you didn't, we'll recap at the end of the show. All right, we have had a really good week with our JTS plays of the day. Marky Model, where are we headed today, sir?
Coach, we are going with the Hey Ladies. That's right. We're going with Phoenix Mercury, Alyssa Thomas, to get over 15 points tonight. She's done this. She's averaging 21 points in 3 of her last 3 home games. I love the spot for her to get off to a good start against the Aces. And we're going to pair that with Vegas Aces, Chelsea Gray, to go over 8 points, something she has done in 4 of her last 4 games against Phoenix, where she's averaging 14. Put them both together, you get a plus 100. Just Stat Sports play of the day.
Or I like to call this, if the tree falls in the forest league. Are they still playing? But we'll cash it, baby. Scan the QR code. $1 for the first month if you use our code NFL100. Put all the tools you have in your toolbox. WNBA. Caitlin Clark said, oh, yeah, she's got a point. They're all going against the commish. All right, guys, great start. I feel like we have a lot of check marks in our future. Now, still to come on the other side, it's time to jump in. We go back to school, college football. It's time to get serious. We're in October. Also, coming up in 20 minutes, the NFL. Is the season already over for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens? We discuss all of the biggest games. We're just getting started on a Friday, and I love it. Here, it's Coach and Company, Stadium, and Bally Sports Live. Come on back. All right, Zeno, you are my Yankees guy. You had to feel great last night. Schittler was amazing, and that's when New York proves that Yankee Stadium in the playoffs is the best atmosphere in all of sports. Record-breaking, 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, no walks, first time in the history of baseball. That line was done. What did you make of that 4-0 win last night?
Well, Schlittler.
Did I say it wrong? I said Schlittler. Didn't Schlittler? Sorry, I knew I was going to screw that up this week.
Look, I mean, they talk about it all the time about earning your pinstripes when you're a Yankee, right? And the kid certainly did that last night. I mean, this is a performance that was up there with some of the best pitching performances of the Yankees in the last 30 years. You talk about Andy Pettitte in Game 5 of the World Series, Roger Clemens Game 2 of the World Series against the Mets, or Clemens when he had a 9-inning one-hit shutout in the ALCS. But this is the kind of company that this kid just walked into last night with the start of this performance. I don't know if any of us saw it coming, but certainly once it was right there in front of us, we were very happy we got it.
Man, wasn't that fun to watch, though? And watch the crowd going bananas. And the best part, Brandon, is when they win the game. And I'm not a Yankees guy. I just lived near New York for a lot of years. I love when they play New York when they win. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah.
And you hear it playing in the background, and the players are high-fiving. And Aaron Boone clearly is like, okay, I was smart to take him out for the 9th inning. Because I'm sure there was a lot of people that are like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah,
but it worked. Yeah, there you go. But Brandon, it worked out. It worked out.
Yeah, no, it worked out. The Yankees, they didn't give Zeno or they didn't give my guy Sean Marass a reason to crash out after the game. I was a little bit disappointed. However, Red Sox fans are crashing out today, so there's going to be at least that. But look, the Yankees from the first inning on, they just look like the better team, and Schlittler pitched one hell of a game. And when you get that type of performance out of a rookie, it's a fun night for the fans.
And when you're a Yankees fan now, like Zeno, you're going, wait a second. We've got something now. Now we go into Blue Jays feeling a lot better about ourselves because of that performance last night. Confidence is a huge thing.
Absolutely.
And I think that's going to be an incredible series. I really, really do. All right, we are back live on Stadium, Bally Sports Live, in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Coach and Company here on Stadium, Bally Sports Live. Do not forget that tomorrow it'll be posted at 10 a.m. or earlier. We'll have a full college football preview with me and Mikey P. Also, we will have a full divisional baseball preview with Mikey P. and also young Peyton that will get done tonight. We will post it as soon as it is done, so you guys have plenty of time to digest it. But those two shows will be posted on or before 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. Now, we've got to get into it because this is a big-time weekend. Maction is on the horizon, and in a sports bettor's world, that is called Christmas. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to go back to school. How quickly in college football, boys, things can change. Alabama loses to Florida State week 1. Oh, my goodness, the season's over until they beat Georgia at Georgia. And now all of a sudden, spotlight's back on them. But Zeno, I'm going to start with you because the other team beat them a year ago in Nashville, Tennessee. And they're ranked this year. And they've got a quarterback who's an absolute legend in the making because of his persona. Vandy's getting 10.5 on the road. Is this number correct today?
It's a little thick. It's probably a little bit high, to say the least. And when it comes to the quality of Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia is the ultimate gamer. Look, he's never going to be an NFL quarterback. He's not very good or very talented. He just knows how to play ball in big spots and put the team on his back and make plays. He's the kind of guy on 3rd and 13 somehow finds a way to get 14 yards, and it's going to be a very difficult spot for Alabama here. But this is not the same Bama team from last year. This is a legitimate offense with Jeremy what's his last name? Brian Williams and Jeremy Bernard. Thank you. These are real wide receivers, NFL caliber wide receivers running through the secondary. So this is a real big matchup here. And let me just give you one more quick little nugget here. When we talk about ranked versus ranked opponents so far this year, if you blindly bet the lower ranked team, right? If you blindly bet the lower ranked team in every game, you'd be 12-3 straight up, 13-2 against the spread, and that is 4-0 when lower ranked teams are as a favorite. So betting the lower ranked teams in these spots has been very profitable for people this year.
Wow. So you're saying that based off of that nugget, Vandy's the play?
Vandy is the play based off of that. 13-2 straight up, 12-3 against the spread.
Wow, that's a great nugget. Thank you, Zeno. So, Brandon, with that information, let me come over to you, because when he talks about Pavia, I think it's like the Tim Tebow discussion. It's great college player. And not all great college players are going to be NFL guys. And I think fans believe that to be great, you got to be an NFL player. You don't. You don't. And if he can come out and go to Tuscaloosa and get this done, the legend will only grow.
Yeah, look, there's been a lot of great college quarterbacks that have not been good pros. Tim Tebow, you look at Johnny Manziel. There's been a lot of them that have not been really good pros. And Diego Pavia is probably not going to be a really good pro, but he is a very good college quarterback. This kid already has over 1,200 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. This kid is the real deal this season with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is definitely live plus 10.5, and they are live on the money line. This is a very juicy number. I haven't bit the bullet yet and taken it, but it is a very juicy number, and they are live. So at some point here, I am going to bite that bullet. I've already taken them plus 10.5, but the money line is very enticing.
Wow, plus 325 is what you're looking at. I looked at the total as well last week. What a bad beat. I think there was 38 points at halftime between Alabama and Georgia.
Vikings
And
should
the
have
over
0 points in the fourth quarter last week. 0.
How does that happen? How does that happen? I had the over at 51 or 52. I was like, this is a lock. I'm moving on to the next. Yeah, 0 points in the fourth quarter. All right, let's flip it over. Game number 2. And this one will certainly, we're talking Texas Tech and Houston. It's 7 p.m. start. Both teams are undefeated. But it's Tech, Zeno, that's gotten all of the attention because of the NIL money that they spent. And the guy who's doing it, God bless you. If you have somebody like that, Oklahoma State had their billionaire. This dude is just writing checks. But now they're getting the attention, and they have a quarterback, and they have a team, and they're laying 11.5 against an undefeated Houston team. Is this too much?
Probably. I mean, I definitively lean Houston here. Look, this is a game that features 2 of the top 15 defenses in the country. And this Houston defense is very legit. I mean, it is a very, very tough defense, and they are home. Texas Tech, they have a great defense too. There is a distinct advantage for the Red Raiders offense over the Houston Cougars. Connor Wegman, the Cougars quarterback, has been good. He's been an upgrade. But Willie Fritz, the head coach, is very content with punting the ball away, putting his defense on the field, and living to play for another down. I look at this probably as a first half under, although the money is coming in on the over, which is giving me a ton of pause here.
Mm-hmm.
Great defenses, when money keeps coming in on the over, it makes me very nervous. But again, I think this game kind of profiles similar to Texas Tech, Utah. A very slow defensive battle at the start. Texas Tech will pull away and probably cover the number in the second half.
It really feels that way. And also, I feel like the vibe that Texas Tech is walking around with, and this quarterback who's proven to be dynamic, I think they want to show out. I think they want to show the nation we are legit. And that 11 next to our name, it's no joke, Brandon. And this is a great spot to do it in a conference game, but also against an in-state rival.
Yeah, in the Big 12 conference is probably the toughest conference in college football to call as well. Houston's definitely live in this game. Houston's defense keeps them in this game. Probably a backdoor cover would be where I would be at with Houston. I'm staying away from this game money-wise, betting-wise, but if I had to bet it, Houston's the play for sure.
Now, the biggest game when you're talking about brands this weekend, you're staying in the state of Florida. It's going to be Miami and Florida State. Now, Florida State just gave up 46 points to Virginia a week ago. So their defense can be had, and maybe you look at the total, 54.5. But Zeno, Carson Beck, when he left Georgia to go to Miami, everybody said, he's running away from the opportunity. And then he has all these off-the-field issues with the girlfriend. They've broken up. And now the coaching staff has said all that was nonsense. This dude is a great leader. And so far, he has played the part. They're only laying 4.5. Your thoughts?
I'm the only person on the planet who thinks Miami is overrated. I don't think that Carson Beck is all that good. I don't think the offense is all that good. I think they've been fortunate playing the teams that they've had along the way here. Look, remember, that Florida defense in that Miami University of Florida game held that team to basically nothing through 3 quarters. Nothing. And What it is a little troublesome with Florida State sort of in this spot here after, a letdown spot last week against Virginia coming back home here. But remember what I told you a moment ago about the lower seeded teams that
Yeah.
ranked opponents are playing. That certainly applies here. Florida State is live at home. Miami's going to get their first true taste of a real opponent on the road. And this is going to be one where it's going to be a lot tougher. And I think Carson Beck struggles. Give me Florida State plus the 4.5 and a sprinkle on the money line.
Very interesting. Okay. I don't mind that. If you've never been to a game in Tallahassee at night, it's very, very intimidating. It's the fans are right on top of you. The bowl kind of goes in, Brandon. And there's a reason FSU under Bobby Bowden was such a difficult out. Can they respond from giving up 46 to a Virginia team that clearly, at least perception-wise, is they're not on Miami's level?
Yeah, Zito, you're not the only one that thinks Miami's overrated, because I also think Miami's overrated. I think Carson Beck is overrated. I've been saying that all season long. I'm not a believer in Carson Beck. This Florida State defense can wreak havoc on Carson Beck. This Florida State defense can hit him in the mouth. And when you hit Carson Beck in the mouth, he's prone to make mistakes. And I think that that's what's going to happen. I'm not just sprinkling the money line. I'm hammering the money line with Florida State. I think Florida State wins this game.
Wow. You two are on both the same side. I absolutely love it. All right. We'll make Florida State an official play. I like it. My two guys, I trust you. All right. The last game I want to hit on quickly, because you never know year to year who's going to be that third or fourth team out of the SEC that could make a run for the playoffs. This year, these two teams could be that. Mississippi State, the only reason they're not undefeated is an overtime loss a week ago at Tennessee. Texas A&M has proven they've got an offense this year, Zeno. They went to Notre Dame and got the job done. These two teams meet each other, and Texas A&M is now a top 10 ranked team. That number to me is gigantic. Tell me I'm crazy.
They're not crazy. It's gigantic for a reason, because the gap between these two teams is that big. Texas A&M finally has a quarterback. Marcel Reed is the best quarterback in the SEC that nobody talks about in this game. You have Mississippi State now, who's playing their first road game in 5 weeks, and their first road game outside the state of Mississippi. Their only road game this year was at Southern Miss. Everything else has been in Starkville. You're going to walk into Kyle Field at night, one of the toughest places to play. I love what the Bulldogs have done this year, Mississippi State, but they're going to be wildly overmatched here. This is an A&M offense that put up 40 3 straight weeks in a row until they faced a really good Auburn defense last week. They put up 40 again. They probably run away with this thing late. I mean, yes, the back door is probably a little bit open here, but Texas A&M scores 40 in this game and wins this thing 40-21, covers easily.
So if they score 40 and there's a possibility of a backdoor cover, clearly, Brandon, the over would come into play in that scenario.
Yeah, if I'm going to play this game, that's how I'm playing it, with the over. Texas A&M, they're that team that every time that I play them or play against them, they find a way to beat me, and they find a way to screw me. So I'm just playing. Yeah, I'm just playing the over. I think Mississippi State plus 16 might be the play here. Like I like Mississippi State at that number. I wouldn't go much lower than that number, but at that number, that's where I'm at with it. I'm playing the over, but that's probably the only spot I'm playing in this game.
Is there anything better than a primetime overplay on a Saturday when you have nothing else to do but sit at home and chill, have a cocktail, maybe a pizza, maybe some wings, and just root for points? Just root for points. Gentlemen, well freaking done. Well freaking done. Now, you guys are not done, not by a long shot. Coming up on the other side, we go from school, the young cats, to the pros, the NFL. Starting to get serious. Week 5 already underway. The 49ers, big win over the Rams last night. They are 4-1. NFC West taking center stage. We also have a big one with the Chiefs on Monday night grind. Tune in live. And also Sunday night, are the Bills just playing with their food again, according to Brandon? We'll talk all about it on the other side. And Big Chuck will join us because he always has a different look at everything, and we value that. All right, this is Coach and Company, only halfway home here on Stadium and also Valley Sports Live. All right, boys, the Rams now have 2 losses on their record. One of them was a scoop and score blocked field goal to end the game. They would have lost anyway, but they ended up losing and not covering in the process. And then there was last night, fumbling at the 1 to go in and take the lead. Then getting stopped at the 11 in overtime on 4th and 1. Zeno, I ask you the question, which was a worse way to lose?
Block field goal, 100%. I mean, as turnovers are sadly part of the game, you don't want them to happen in the red zone. You certainly don't want them to happen on the 1 yard line as you're going in for a go-ahead score in the fourth quarter. Inopportune to say the least, but the percentage of blocked field goals in general is so small.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming. It's a lot bigger this year for some reason. I don't know why. What teams are doing? What sort of code they've cracked to figure out how to block these things? But, it's at an unreal rate at this point in time.
It does feel that way, and I wonder maybe, Chuck, is because some of these are longer field goals, so they come out lower. I don't know, but there are a lot. But I ask you the same question: which is a worse loss, and how do the Rams bounce back from this one?
Definitely the blocked field goal. Plus, at the same time, they had a 26-7 second half lead, so they were in full meltdown mode when that come also. So yeah, that definitely will give that to check mark. I'm sure they'll rebound off of that one. They just overlooked the 49ers. I think that was kind of a sandwich look ahead spot. So I think they'll rebound. I think McVay will get his troops ready to go. They're usually a second half team anyway, so anything they get in the first half of the season's a bonus.
Brandon, I got 20 seconds for you. Same topic.
Yeah, look, for me, it was the block field goal because I had the Rams plus the 4. So
did I. So did I.
Yeah, I'll forever just go down. Just tackle the 350-pound guy. Go down.
You did not have the Eagles, Zeno. That had to be the greatest win ever.
That's why I don't say anything. I just keep my mouth shut.
Oh my God, that was the worst loss I've ever had. So Brandon, we're in the same boat. I can't even believe the ball just bounced right up to him like that. It's crazy.
Keep running.
Yeah, go down. Go down. All right, we're back. We're talking NFL right now. We're back live on Stadium. 5 seconds. All right, welcome back. We're halfway home. If you're watching us live on the East Coast, it is 10:32, and we appreciate that. If you're out here on the West Coast, just getting up, getting your day started, thank you for starting it with us. Now, we just did an early look ahead to the college games. We'll have a full show tomorrow on demand. But the NFL is where our bread is buttered. So let's get right into it because, guys, there are a lot of games that we have to break down that have a lot of implications. And I want to start in Philadelphia. There's only 2 undefeated teams, Zeno, left in the league. It is Buffalo. They play Sunday night. And it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Have they looked spectacular? No. But they've won every single game. The Broncos, both losses, walk-off losses. They could also be undefeated if the ball bounces the right way. This one, Eagles, do they cover and look finally impressive doing it?
They're not going to look impressive because they're not going to be impressive. I'll say it again. The 2025 Philadelphia Eagles are the 2024 Kansas City Chiefs. They will win a ton of close games where their offense doesn't do anything particularly special and their defense is good enough to help them win a game. So anytime you see 3.5 or less, bet the Eagles. Anything that 4.5 or more, bet the underdog. Now we're at 3.5 here. Eagles are home. As much as I respect Sean Payton, who is still the best schemer in the NFL, not Andy Reid, it's not Kyle Shanahan, it's not Sean McVay. Nobody is better at taking away what you do well and finding the weakness and exploiting it than Sean Payton is. Still a ton of respect. Bo Nix is not going to be enough to beat the Eagles here.
And last week, they really didn't have to do much, Chuck. They beat Cincinnati 28-3. Probably the most listless performance by an NFL team I've ever seen when you're talking about the Bengals. But when you're talking about the Broncos, walk-off loss to the Colts, which they should have won. Walk-off loss to the Chargers, which they should have won. Giving up a 4th down over-the-shoulder catch to McConkey was ridiculous. So, Big Chuck, you could also look at the total. The Eagles scored 54 combined last week against the Bucks. Where's your mind going?
Definitely looking at the total, and I also like this Broncos team. Even though they come in 1-4 ATS their last 5, they're still 4-2 ATS the last 6 versus the Eagles. Short week making the trip. I'm kind of go ahead and overlook that. Philly, they're also 5-1 ATS. Still like my regression Broncos team in this spot, getting the 3. Under definitely catches my attention. Also, I think a defensive battle. It's also cashed in 5 of the Broncos' last 6 games, plus 3.5 in the under for me.
All right. A lot of information there, Brandon. Do you agree with the under? Broncos, both.
I'm with the under, and I'm with the Eagles covering this one because this Eagles defense is really good, and Bo Nix is overrated. And when you look at this team and you look at them, anytime you see a West Coast team or a Mountain Time team going to the East Coast for a noon kickoff, it is a big deal. I think the Eagles cover this spread. I do think the under hits.
The body clock is real, guys, in the NFL. Maybe not so much NBA or baseball, but in the NFL, just so you guys know, they travel in Saturday. They don't go in Thursday, Friday. It's Saturday. You play the game back home Sunday night. So this is a body clock 11 a.m. game for the Denver Broncos, to Brandon's point. We got to keep that maybe a slower start, maybe a first half bet, something like that. We'll have a full live show on Sunday morning. Now, let's go back to the NFC West, guys. And this is a battle of 2 3-1 teams. The Bucs traveling all the way to Seattle, Zeno, and it feels like the Seahawks. And we went through this a year ago with Sam Darnold. He's the guy. He played great for 14 weeks, then laid an egg at the end of the year and into the playoffs. But he feels like a different quarterback this year. What do you make of this matchup?
He feels like a different quarterback because Seattle is the best defense in football, and it's not close. That's why he feels like a different quarterback.
Okay.
They are the best defense in the NFL. The numbers will bear that out. If they don't right now at this moment, they'll bear it out over the course of the season. They are ferocious. Mike McDonald has that defense playing at a completely different level. I love Baker Mayfield. I think he's fantastic. He can dig out of any hole his team gets in. And last week he had 2 chances to do it against the Eagles at home. But they're on the road, and they're in Seattle, in the toughest place in the NFL to play and loudest place in the NFL to play.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bad setup here for the Bucs. I don't like it. I don't. The 3.5 bothers me because the Seattle offense is a little questionable at best, and it is Sam Darnold. So there is a world where I can get backdoored on a field goal here, down by, and they score a touchdown, and they end up maybe getting a 3-point game. But I lean Seattle.
It feels like the same type of spot that we had, guys, a week ago with the Buccaneers. That Tampa would be a great, Brandon, teaser spot here because you take them up to 9.5. And just like with the Eagles, when they were down double digits, you always felt like they would get back into it. They did. The late safety, they only lose by 6. Would you like the Bucs in a teaser here?
I do like the Bucs. I like the Bucs plus pretty much plus anything, because when I get Baker Mayfield and I get plus points, I like my odds because Baker Mayfield just finds a way to win. He's that guy that we talked about in college that just knows how to win. He's that guy in the NFL. He's that guy when you see him on the sidelines and he's taking a deep breath and he's closing his eyes, he's locking in, and he's going to come in and lead his team downfield to beat you. So I like Tampa Bay plus 3.5 in this game. I think Tampa Bay is live in this game, to be honest.
Big Chuck, do you agree with that?
I'm going to have to disagree. I like the Seahawks right here to go ahead and I think they might win comfortably. The 3.5 might kind of trick folks into getting Tampa. I could see that, even though Tampa's 5-1 ATS against the Seahawks. Seahawks are 5-2 straight up against Tampa. The under also catches my eye. It's cashed in 9 of the last 12 meetings. Yes, Seahawks, and potentially the under could be a sneaky over. Still, one of those I'll have to watch a little bit closer on the total.
Wow. Okay. Last week, I believe the total went under. Then, week 1. So, Seattle, maybe they're an under team. You can always count on my man Chuck to attack that total, which I absolutely love. Thank you, Charles. All right. The third game, and this one I think is a little bit under the radar because Jaden Daniels has been hurt. We've had a lot of quarterbacks, guys, this year be hurt, and this affects the numbers, the handicapping, everything. So, the Commanders are going to the Chargers, and Zeno, the Chargers are kind of stumbling a little bit, at least when their confidence is concerned. They're laying a 3, which means the books believe on a neutral site, this is an even game. Do you believe that?
It's really hard to account for how banged up the Chargers are right now. They have another injury on the offensive line to Joe Alt. I can't play the Chargers here. I just can't. There's too many injuries. There's too many variables I can't account for. Certainly think they have the coaching advantage in the game and the quarterback advantage, to be honest with you, because you don't know Jaden Daniels, 100%. He might be good enough to play, but who knows if he's good enough to run and take off at the level that he normally is. A lot of variables here. You put a gun to my head, I take the Commanders plus the points, but I would not bet the Chargers in this spot.
I love the note about running. You got when you're a Lamar Jackson or a Jaden Daniels or one of these guys that uses their legs as part of their game plan, you're absolutely right. So, Brandon, let me come over to you. Is this to me, the whole thing feels like a stay away. The total's too high for me to think that these two with banged up quarterbacks and banged up teams can get to 47. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think people are getting tricked into Washington here. I think this is a Chargers play all day long. You talk about Jaden Daniels and whether or not he's going to be 100%. Even if he is 100%, he's without Terry McLaurin. He's without Noah Brown. You don't know how healthy Deebo Samuel is. He's without Sam Cosmi on that offensive line that was already not very good. I think this Chargers defense wreaks havoc against Jaden Daniels. I think that this Chargers defense plays a very solid game, and I don't think that the Commanders get more than 10 points in this game. So I'm all over the Chargers.
So maybe a team total under. And Chuck, I believe that because the Chargers lost to the Giants, and the narrative is that the Giants are terrible, that this game would have been 4, 5, or 6 if they would have played a little bit better in New York. So maybe we're getting a little bit of a haircut here on the Chargers.
Definitely getting a discount on the Chargers. Before that loss, they're still on the 12-4 ATS run. They owned this Commanders team, 5-1 their last 6 straight up. A lot of people think we might see a under. I'm liking the over in this one. I would like to see if it come down even more. 10 of their last 15, or 10 of these teams' last 15 combined games have went over the total. So they've been putting up points. Yeah, definitely liking the Chargers getting that discount. I'd like it to come down even more. See if we could get it at that money line. Also at a good number in the over.
Yeah, if it comes down to like minus 150, minus 145, I wouldn't mind, pulling the trigger on that instead of laying the 3 points. All right, this next one, there are two teams with bad records, but they're going in two different directions. Texans and the Ravens. Last week, Baltimore played at Arrowhead. Hamstring knocked Lamar out of the game. And Zeno, we know when it comes to hamstring injuries, they're so hard to recover from, and especially when you're a dynamic athlete like Lamar Jackson. So my question to you is this: is the season over for Baltimore if they lose this game, which they are an underdog at home to a Texas team that just had a shutout a week ago?
No, their season is not over. I'm laughing because you act like the Texans actually beat somebody worthwhile. Look, the wrong team is favored. I'm going to get ticked off. The wrong team is favored here. The Texans
thought the same thing.
Exactly one good quarter of football this year, and it was the fourth quarter against the worst team in the league in Tennessee. It was a 6-0 game at halftime that Houston was ahead. I don't care if Cooper Rush is starting. I don't care if Cooper Flagg is starting. The Ravens are winning this game. The wrong team is favored. This is a gift. I will take it and walk happily to the cash register.
I bet Cooper Flagg could play football. I bet you he could play football. But this is one of those spots. I think Zeno is absolutely right, Brandon, that because of reaction from the sports books, they just look at sometimes at numbers instead of how the game actually played out. And they look at 26-0 instead of 6-0, and then you had a bunch of stuff happen in the fourth quarter. So regardless of the quarterback, do you like the Ravens? Because John Harbaugh, over the years, when they get backed into a quarter, they figure it out.
Well, I wish John Harbaugh would hurry up and just rule Lamar out, because I'm in a fantasy league where I have Lamar and I need to put him on the bench so I can pick somebody else up. So that's number one.
Oh.
But I think that the numbers are based off of a lot of the injuries on the defensive side of the football for the Ravens, and people don't know how healthy it's going to be. And this defense for the Ravens has been pretty suspect so far, but this Houston offense has not been very good, man. This is a stay away game for me, but I tend to agree that the wrong team's favored.
All right. Very, very good. Again, that is a 1:00 game on Sunday. Full game live show on Sunday morning to break down and look at the line movements. Raphael does a great job of figuring out exactly what the books are doing just 2 or 3 hours before the game. All right. Coming up on the other side. Oh, my goodness. We've got apologies, and then we have non-apologies. What am I talking about? You got to stick around to find out. We love doing this. Did I tell you that? Do not forget, on demand, all of our content, Coach and Bro, weekday wagers later, Off the Ropes on SiriusXM channel 156. We're here all day, but this is Coach and Company. We are live on Stadium and Valley Sports Live. All right, boys. Off day today for baseball, but they're right back at it tomorrow. The divisional round of the playoffs starts. Best of 5. We've got Cubs, Brewers, Yankees, Blue Jays, Tigers, Mariners, and the Dodgers and the Phillies. Zeno, which series are you most looking forward to watching?
I mean, I would think it's Milwaukee and the Cubs. I think Milwaukee's getting bounced in the first round here, in the first game series they play. I think going to the World Series out of the National League at this point in time should be Cubs and Phillies in the NLCS. And for whatever reason, it may all just fall the Cubs' way. But Milwaukee is probably one of the more overrated teams in the postseason here.
Boy, Cubs and Phillies, that would be a highly rated series for sure. Brandon, what about you?
I mean, look, as soon as Zeno said Cubs in the NLCS, my desk started to rise a little bit. So I love that call. But since I'm a Cubs fan, I'm going to stay away from that series because I'm a homer. I don't want anybody giving me any homer vibes. I actually like the Dodgers and the Phillies, man. That one's going to be a very fun series to watch. And if the Dodgers get bounced early, I'm going to be talking, baby, because I've been saying all year long that they're not going to the World Series.
Wow, that was a great take. Producer man, we're not pulling that out to put it on social. Big Chuck, which series are you looking forward to?
At first, I was going to say that Yankees Jays, but I have to agree. I like that Phillies Dodgers. It's full of star power. Plus, I like those Phillies. I was backing them early to win the World Series. I'm still on that train with the Phillies to take it all. So, but yeah, definitely the Yankees Jays get some consideration, but Phillies Dodgers all day.
Can you imagine, guys? Imagine if it was the Phillies and the Yankees in the World Series. Would that be something? Boy, that would be amazing. What's that?
We already saw that in 2009. Go Yanks.
I don't even remember 2009. I took a lot of shots to the head, Zeno, a lot. And I just left the WWE. I was at ESPN. I don't even remember that they played. I really, really don't. But I'd love to see it again. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, we've got apologies out there, and I love coming to Zeno for this story first. The PGA of America president, and I do work with the PGA of America, he has come out and apologized on behalf of the PGA of America to Rory McIlroy, to the team Europe, because of the behavior of the United States fans. Zeno, did he need to do this?
No. I mean, let me get this straight. So Rory wants golf to be held to a higher standard, and the golf fans to be held to a higher standard. Yes. But yet Rory can walk through or off the green going, bleep you, bleep you, bleep you, and tell the fans, hey, you shut the bleep up. That's the higher standard. So it's only a one-way thing. The fans have to be all sweet and cute to you, but you don't have to do it to them. Like, I mean, it's just it's a bad look all around for the sport. They're so worried about decorum and everything else, which I'm fine with. But Rory, if you want to call people out for it, you better make sure all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, and they weren't. He wasn't a saint either in all this.
I understand. The only thing I'll push back on is I had 2 friends working the event that were around him the entire week. They said they wouldn't even repeat the things that were said to Rory. And by the time he did the FU thing, that was a couple of days in, and he had it. He had absolutely had it. So that's the only pushback I'll give on that. Now, Brandon, we had another topic that's not apologizing. And when Collier calls out your WNBA commissioner as bad leadership, but then Caitlin Clark yesterday in her closing season end press conference, she doubled down. And she said everything Collier said is accurate. When your sport's biggest star is condemning your commissioner, how bad of a look is that?
I mean, it's a bad look, sure, for the league, but this whole league has been a bad look since all of this nonsense started before the season with the pay and all this other stuff that they want to do and pay us like the NBA players. Stop. Just stop at the WA. You're getting old and you're getting to the point where people just don't want to watch you because you're annoying. It's ridiculous. The WNBA, hey ladies, hey, get a grip. How about that?
Gimmick infringement in our takes today. Big Chuck. We know that we've made a lot of picks on the WNBA here, but I love the word that Brandon just used, annoying. It's getting annoying to wear shirts that say, pay us what you owe us. It should be the reverse. Pay us what you've taken because you're losing money. Did Caitlin Clark kind of finally slam the door on all of the nonsense, and now we're all walking away?
I got to get that "Hey Ladies" trademark, but I was surprised she even spoke out. She normally doesn't, but I know her words carry some weight, so I was shocked to see that she spoke out. So let's see if where they go from here. So yeah, I was very surprised at that.
What's kind of funny is Collier's husband, who she said, my husband's a much better leader than she is. Well, her husband runs the unrivaled Big Three league that pays players over $200,000 a year to play 3-on-3 basketball. Guess what? Nobody's watching that either. So they're going to end up losing money on that venture too. It's just a matter of time. They just have big sponsors. All right, gentlemen. I believe there was a joke made earlier today that there was more X's than what, Zeno?
Than the last time I played Family Feud.
The last time you played Family Feud. I was actually on Family Feud.
Really?
WWE week. I won fast money. I hit the number right on 200. Look it up. True story. True story.
You remember
Yes.
the questions?
They were the first guy who went, Mr. Kennedy. He got like 160 points, and I got like 40. Yeah, like I hit it right on the number, and I X'd out on the last question. So I had 4 answers. I don't remember them. I just know that I was not very good. But the narrative is I hit the number. We won $20,000, and we had five shows in one day. Had to change into 5 different suits. It was kind of a cool time. Anyway. Enough of memory lane. What I want to remember come Monday is that all of my guys had check marks next to their name. So it's time to lock it in. All right, Mr. Zeno, I'd love for you to start us off. What do you like today?
Late night, Friday night action in college football. BYU, first half team total over 16.5. It's a very banged up West Virginia team. Their starting quarterback is out. BYU starts very fast. They have one of the top offenses in the country, the top 10 rushing offense, over 16.5 points in the first half. On Saturday, hold your nose, look away, bet it, and don't look back until about 3:30. Purdue, plus 9.5 as they host Illinois in a major look-ahead spot with number 1 Ohio State on deck at home next week. A sandwich spot here for the Illini. And then on Sunday, Carolina Panthers, Miami Dolphins on a short week on the road after a Monday night game, and all of a sudden they're favored. Settle down here, odds makers.
Easy, big fellas. By the way, that Purdue game, a noon start, so don't get caught up and miss the start time tomorrow. Noon start Eastern time. All right, Brandon, talk to me.
Yeah, look, I like the Giants' money line against the Saints. Stop overreacting to what the Saints did against Buffalo and start realizing what the Giants are, which is a team that is actually not that bad with Jackson Dart under center. Texas minus 5.5 against the Florida Gators. DJ Lagway is terrible. And then I'm going to parlay Florida State plus 4 and Vandy plus 10.5. I think both of these teams are live in the game on the money line if you want to go that way. But I'm going to parlay them and take the points. And then the Philadelphia Phillies to beat the LA Dodgers in the NLDS plus money on the Phillies who have home field advantage. Are you kidding me with that lineup? Plus 105 all day long.
It's going to be a great, great series. It's a late night series on Saturday, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Excuse me, no, at the 6:38 start time, they're going to be 2 games basically at the same time, Detroit, Seattle, Dodgers, and the Phillies. All right, we got a bunch of soccer. Big Chuck, rip it through as fast as you can.
Or shall we say football, Bundesliga on Friday. Hoffenheim, Cologne, the over 3. This has actually went over in 6 of Cologne's last 7 matches. Then we go on to Saturday, La Liga, Real Madrid, Villarreal. The both teams to score in over 2.5. This one is also cashed in 6 of their last 7 meetings. Italy, Serie A. Atalanta, Como. I like the visitors in this one and to score early. Como, first half team total over half a goal. They've scored a first half goal in 2 of their last 3 games. EPL action. Chelsea welcome Liverpool to town. We're going to roll with another over 3 with each team averaging almost 2 goals per match. And lastly, MLS Gold Mine in New York Red Bulls first half team total over half a goal. They averaged 1 first half team goal at home. And really lastly is the first half parlay. Just get a first half goal in each of the 5 matches listed above for a plus 235.
Footy Friday, always a ton of fun. Now, what are our good friends doing over there at Just the Stats Sports? What's our play today in the WNBA marquee model?
We are going with game 1 of the WNBA Finals, and we're taking the Phoenix Mercury, Alyssa Thomas, to go over 15 points. She's done this in 6 of her last 7 games. She's been absolutely on fire. And we're going to pair that with Vegas Aces Chelsea Gray to go over 8 points. She's done this in 5 of her last 6 games and over in all 4 games against Phoenix, where she's averaging 14. Put them both together, you get a plus 100. Just Stat Sports play of the day.
Scan the QR code. NFL 100 is the code for $1 for the first month, and just put that cash right in your back pocket. Gentlemen, we always end Fridays 10 seconds or less. What are we going to be watching this weekend? Zeno, go.
We are absolutely watching Florida State Miami on Saturday night. That's the big one.
Me too. Brandon, what about you?
Baseball, 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 and more baseball.
You watching baseball? Big Chuck, what do we got?
I got a smorgasbord. We'll start out early on Saturday, Leeds, Tottenham, and then round out a little baseball, and then Sunday night football. So we got a little bit of everything.
We got ourselves a little EPL, 10 a.m. on Saturday. Marquee model, what are you watching?
I'm starting this afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern time with weekday wagers and the NFL Overdrive, where I'm taking on the chat, and I'll give you all of everything that I'm watching for the rest of the weekend there.
Oh, wow. So we can't say it here on the bigger show, but we'll save it for that show. Okay, great. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire company, love them all. Zeno, Brandon, Marky Model, my man, Big Chuck, and never forget about producer man behind the scenes. Love you kids so very much. I am so simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track and be a parent. The coaching company, live on Stadium, Valley Sports Live. Have a great day.